The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a throw here, hauled in. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So they bring out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Dublin's offense now set to take over.
We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Steps, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. And he's going to keep it here. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards, a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a couple.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And his kick here is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Good job.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It's a big one now. It's a big one.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Now that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, Talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough.
And on now is the punter as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 9 now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. And Graham's got it over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
2nd and 4. Looking sideline, incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. First down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up first and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They're going to look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball.
Under pressure, and down he goes. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And they give this time to the tailback. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Well, they bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route.
Okay.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Pressure comes and down he goes. So that time, Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
No.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Steps away. He'll try and run it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now, 4th and goal from the 2. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead. And, Charles, maybe that's one they had dialed up. Hey, if we're in a 4th and goal situation, we're going to our muscle.
And you can feel the boom, boom, boom all the way up here where we sit. The earth was shaking, and he found his way into the end zone.
Yeah, but that's such a great guy to have around the goal line, isn't it?
Indeed it is. It's a great extra dimension to add to your offense. When you can finish things with power, that's hard for a defense to deal with.
Now the try here for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And his throw here is incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Complete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw now on 1st down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy who's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll look to throw here. His throw incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. They'll throw now on the final play. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Toronto's offense ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to retake the lead. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run. He was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates. They're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll set up to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Hard throw, incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return.
Dublin's offense now set to take over.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The 30, 20, and touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And to give this time to the tailback. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Space to maneuver at the 40. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get 3 up to midfield.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So they bring out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Toronto's offense ready to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
2nd and 11. That is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Dublin's offense now set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Now they try the right side here. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run. Second and 13. And that's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the move, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, nice move at midfield. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And to give this time to the tailback. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are going to take the lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drive, 4 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Dublin's offense now set to take over. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Toronto's offense ready to take over. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Pulled in at the 24. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Dublin's offense now set to take over. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Escaping the pressure right. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after them, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first. They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more on that one, and another first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Job 1 to pick up the 1st down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the 1st down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now left side on the swing pass. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Now, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. That's complete right around the 8. It'll go as a loss on the play. Now what you need down here, it's going to be 2nd and goal. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually...
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Now, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together. And
they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. The situation for them offensively as follows. Down on the scoreboard, a little under 30 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
So a definite surprise there. They try to fake punt, but this time it's going to blow up in their face, CD.
yeah, it certainly has. And look, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trailing right now, probably trying to generate some momentum. But that felt like one of those go-for-broke type of a plays in a situation where I don't know that they needed to do that. They still have opportunities, and in this case, they took a chance, and it backfired.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for our visitors, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now they'll face the prospect of a long, albeit happy flight across the Atlantic. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.